Hi, everybody. Okay, my name's Rochelle. Um, this is my first tutorial video, and I was asked to do this several times. So I wanted to help people because all the time I see in groups, how do you do a Dutch pour? What do I need? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I have all these answers, but it's like it's every other post. So I thought this would be a video that I can show you the very basics, what you need, and how to do a Dutch pour. So with that being said, let's get started. So first of all, thank you for buying my video. I am excited to help you learn and just take you on this journey. So a little background, I started this in July of 2020. Never painted in my life. Never painted in my life. Okay, so anybody can do this. It's just a matter of, how much dedication you have. It will not happen overnight. It takes time. Practice, practice, practice. Now, I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I can't even tell you. Okay, trying to figure this out. I started with putting my canvases on cans. I started, with every different type of paint, different things like that. So that's where I made that list for you. So that list is the very, very basic that you need. And I have, spent the hundreds for you to figure this out. So let's start with the very beginning. Okay, this video is going to be a longer video. You can pause it. You can do whatever you need to do. I'm going to go step by step, baby steps, so that you guys can understand how to do this. So, okay, I do have a puppy in the house. He likes to bark at things. Hopefully he does good. So let's get started. The very first thing I'm going to show you is how to make your paint for a Dutch pour. Okay. Every acrylic, there's so many different techniques. Okay. There's Dutch pours, there's swipes, there's pours, there's, I can't even, there's probably a dozen really basic ones that a lot of people do. So today I'm doing Dutch pour. That's what I learned originally. Okay, I came across a video of Donna Rinsky, and she is my all-time favorite. I absolutely love her. My other favorite is Molly's Artistry. So that's where my inspiration comes from. I highly suggest watching both of their videos that they have. That's how I learned. I'm going to show you my ratios, what works for me. And I feel like if you go and you do these ratios and you do them exactly how I'm showing you, you will have no problem doing a Dutch pour. So here we go. I have everything out that I told you to buy. So I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to flip the camera. Okay, so I am going to show you everything that I told you you would need. You need a scale. I use it in grams, and I will show you how to use that. You need a blow dryer with an attachment. This attachment is very important. As you see, I found the attachment that I liked, and I taped it on a blow dryer that I had already. Then you're going to need a torch. This is the clear coat that I use. That is unbelievable. Then you're going to need a strainer. You're going to need a strainer. Cups, bigger cups, smaller cups, water, Floetrol, sticks, squeeze bottles, your paint, your canvas, and your push pins, as well as something to catch all your paint. I use these. I buy them at dollar store. You get 2 for $1. They are plastic. They are a plastic cutting board is actually what they are. And that way you can catch your paint. Okay, so let's start with making paint. So the first thing we are going to do is, I'm going to try and get this all organized here. Okay, making paint. Here's the scale that I have. I'm trying to do things through the camera here. As you will see on this, of course there's a piece of paint on it. Okay. There is a little tiny G right there. I do everything on grams, okay? So we are going to do our base paint first, which is, we're going to do white. And you put your larger cup on there and you zero it out, okay? We're still in grams. Then we are going to get an empty large cup with your strainer, and we are going to strain the Floetrol. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to get my stand ready. Okay, so we have our Floetrol, and you're going to strain it. There are times when Floetrol likes to have big chunks in it. Depends on how long it's been sitting. You'll want to shake your container first and then strain it. The Floetrol lately has been very, very good, and I have not had any issues with it. What does Floetrol do? Floetrol is going to make your painting, it is going to make it to where it dries flat and everything comes together perfectly. It helps with not having to use as much paint. Okay, so we have that ready. Make sure that you wash these immediately, because if they dry, it's going to be really hard to get that off. Now we have Artist Loft. Let's see. Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. Okay, you can buy this in the quart, and it's just white, and trust me, is the best base you can get. So we have our Floetrol. We have our cup. Okay, so because we're going to do the base, I'm going to do 40 grams. This is a 10 by 20 canvas. I'm going to do 40 grams of paint. Okay, very close. Okay, 41, but very close. So we need to double that in Floetrol. So we need 80 grams of Floetrol. So I'm going to zero that out. Okay. We have our 80 grams of Floetrol. Now you take your stir stick and you are going to stir this. Try not to get my hand in the way. Okay. White is a harder one to know if it's like completely stirred, so you just keep stirring. Because you can't really see the color come through the Floetrol and know if it's completely mixed up. That looks pretty good. Okay, Now we are going to zero it out again. And now we're going to add the water. Okay. I personally can use sink water because our water is not bad. But an area that has a lot of chemicals, things like that, you just want to get bottled water. And so we started with 40 grams of paint, 80 grams of Floetrol. We are going to put 40 grams of water. So the 40 grams of water is going to match the amount of paint that we put in. Okay. So you can start with about like 20, mix it, and then do the other 20. Just so you don't have, it just will stir a little easier, especially when you're doing this much paint at one time. Sorry. Okay. And then we're going to put the other 20 in. We will have a total of 40. Now, you may be off a gram or two. It's fine. Like, don't freak out. See, like I just went a little bit over. But that matched the paint, right? Then I'm going to show you the consistency once we get it all mixed up. I hope you all are excited. Like, I hope you're doing this with me and we're mixing together. It's a pretty cool journey. You can do this just for fun. You can sell your paintings. You can do whatever you want. Just to relax, get away from kids, whatever. Okay. Do you see how thin that is? Okay. There's no clumping once it hits the paint, okay? It just goes right in. Flows right off the stick. Okay? So that was the white. Now with the color, I like to just use the smaller cups because you're not going to need as much. So we are going to zero that out, and I'm going to use Artist Loft Metallic Cobalt Blue. And you could have picked any colors that you wanted. Whatever you chose will be beautiful. Okay, this is your art, nobody else's. We are going to do 10 grams. See, went from 9. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to do 10 grams. So now we have to double that, right? So we need 20 grams of Floetrol. So we're going to zero that out. Okay, 20 grams, real close there. Take another stick. This is one of my favorite colors to work with. Probably my best seller as well. Anytime I do something with this metallic cobalt blue, it seems to sell. It's just really pretty. You can see my cat. I'm gonna scrape the sides. The only bad part about this is it never picks up the correct color on camera. I don't know why. It's like it wants to pick it up as blue instead of teal. Okay, so we have that mixed up. Now we are going to add our 10 grams of water. Okay. So we have our 10 grams of water now. Whoop. And then I like to spill it all over. I will warn you, your house, wherever you choose to do this in your house, it will be painted. There's nothing else you can do about it, I'm telling you. I have tried everything. I've got it down now where the paint doesn't go flying, and I'm going to teach you guys that. But if it goes flying, don't be surprised. The cool thing about acrylic paint is it comes off. You just got to scrub it sometimes if you wait too long. That's a tiny bit thick. Like, I think we need to add maybe just a dash more. Here's the key with Dutch pours too. Consistency of the paint needs to be the same. Okay, so if you end up buying a paint that is a thicker type of a paint, then you need to add more water. But I wanted you to buy Artist Loft because I was going to show you Artist Loft so that you know exactly what it's supposed to be. Now normally, so this is a metallic, and I feel like that's why it's a little thicker. There we go. See how it just flows off? Okay, that's what you want. Now we're going to do purple. I'm actually going to show you a different purple. I was going to do one purple, but I'm going to do it without metallic so you can see. I have a deep magenta. We're going to do a deep magenta. Okay, so we're going to do magenta. Then we need 20 grams of Floetrol. You see how this one makes so much faster than the metallic. Metallic it's just a little thicker of an acrylic. So you might need to add a little bit more if your acrylic's a little bit thicker. Okay, now we're going to add 10 grams of water. Looking perfect. All right, so we have our teal, we have our magenta, and we have our base white, and I think we should add a little bit of silver. So we're going to add a little bit of silver. Silver is metallic as well. But we will see. I don't have much left of the Artist Loft, so we're going to see what we get out of this. This will be kind of cool. Maybe we'll just do like 5 ounces if we can get it. Another teaching. Excuse me. There we go. So we have 5 ounces, close to 5 ounces right there. And then we are going to do 10, or sorry, not ounces, grams. 10 grams of the silver. Oh my gosh. I'm not making any sense, am I? We had 5 grams. Now we're adding 10 grams of Floetrol. A lot of people wear gloves. I personally don't. I probably need to look into it more, and I probably should. But I don't feel a lot of paint gets on your hands. Only time the paint really gets on your hands is when you're doing the sides and wiping it. Okay, so now we need 5 grams of water, correct? And we went a little over. However, it is that metallic, so we should be just fine. Off and on, you know, like if you're off 1 or 2 grams, it's really not a big deal. You just want to come close. So basically, it's really simple. You put whatever amount of paint you want to put in, you double it with Floetrol, and you match your water with the amount of paint that you put in. It's that easy. Now, when you start seeing stuff and you're like, oh, 1 to 2 ratio and this and that, I get confused. I'm like, no, what does that mean? Like, I get it. I know what it means, but it's just not in simple terms. Little thick. And it's that metallic. So when you have metallic, I would suggest putting about 2 grams more water in. There just is something in it that makes it a little thicker. Much better. Do you see how that just flows off the stick? Okay. Now, let's do the canvas. Okay, we're going to do the canvas, but remember I told you to get squeeze bottles? So this is a squeeze bottle from the dollar store, okay? You get 2 in a pack. And if you end up liking doing Dutch pours, I highly suggest you get more of these, either in this size or you can order them. I will put a link in there for Lola V, and I'll show you hers. I also ordered some bulk just from a company so that I had them, because you go through a lot of them. So these are the most economical to start with. Here is Lola V. Let's see, sorry guys. This is theirs. This is a medium. Okay. I also have these that I bought myself. I'm not a fan of the squeezy mustard ketchup bottles that you'll see in the dollar store and at Walmart. These will keep your paint fresh and sealed airtight. So that's what I suggest. Same with the dollar store ones. These are just fine. Just fine. So they're just smaller. That's all. So I went to the dollar store today because I wanted to do new ones with you guys. And they were out, of course. But I live in a very tiny town, and they're always out of everything. So I'm just going to show you how I put it in here. I'm going to do this one. And you're just going to fill it up. Do it slowly so you don't make a huge mess. Yeah, so I just emptied the paint that I had earlier today, so I could use this with you guys. Okay, then you will put the lid on. And so that amount filled up about half of that container. So that gives you an idea of how much the 10 grams of paint will make. Okay, so we've got that. I'm also going to show you, if you don't have squeeze bottles, how to just pour without it. And then when you get an empty one of these, these work great to put your base color in. Okay, and then you can just squeeze it out onto your canvas. So, okay, I'm going to move this camera. So we have our colors. We have white, silver, green, magenta. We don't need our scale anymore. We are down to needing a blow dryer, our push pins, and our canvas, and our covers. Okay, so here's my 4 push pins, and I'm going to show you something. A lot of people are like, oh, how do I hold this? Or I'm having a hard time pushing the push pins in. So, I'm going to show you how I do it. So you take the wrapper off. Okay. In this, you will see how they connect. There is one slot that is taller that comes to the surface closer than this surface. I put one push pin right here on every surface, or every corner. Okay? You don't have to push through the wood is hard. Okay? So close to the edge, I'm going to show you. I'm going to try and do this so you can see. So, you see where that's at? I just kind of squeeze it in. And if you make sure it's flat, your surface is going to be really close to level. Some people will use a leveler, okay? Especially if you're doing different kind of pours, it is important. Dutch pour, I don't feel I have not had any paint slide off of a Dutch pour. Okay, so there's another one. And another one. And your last one. That one, the wood was a little tougher. Okay. So you have 4. You can kind of feel if it's off or not. Feels good to me. I am going to lay down. I told you to get 2 packs of those. So how I suggest is just laying them down like this. And you can use so many different things. Puppy pads, trash bags, table covers. It really doesn't matter. However, what's nice about these is you just wash them off and you're not throwing away a bunch of stuff, and you're not having to repeat buy it like I did in the beginning. So that looks good, feels good. Okay. See how I have them just laid down, 4 down, just to cover the area. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we have our mats down. We have our canvas with our push pins in. These canvases, this is just a canvas from Michaels. Okay. And then we have our base. So the blow dryer is going to get a little loud. Nothing I can do about that, really. I want to be able to try and talk to you guys as I do it. So all I'm doing here is pouring down the white. Okay. And then I'm going to take my blow dryer, and I want to show you something. You can either blow this all over your house, or you can go really slow. Okay. So I want you to watch the direction and watch how I can get close to it and far away from it. So I'm just moving it. Now watch this. Oh, it's not going to do it. If you get a lot of paint on there, it'll just go flying. See how that just rippled? That could have been like everywhere, all over your house. So I'm just pushing the paint to cover the entire thing, the entire canvas. And as you can see, there was paint not moving very much, so we are going to add some more. Your canvas does, whoa, suck up some paint, you know. We're going to move this around. Make sure we get the whole thing covered. And I like to just go over it so you don't have a ton of excess paint, okay? Now what I do is just run your finger along the edges to make sure that you're not missing something. And what that does is it also helps the paint flow off the edge when you're doing the actual Dutch pour. Okay? Then to torch your paint. Why do we torch paint? We're going to torch the paint to get any air bubbles out. Because you just moved around all that paint. And there's going to be some air bubbles. And you'll see them pop. Little pops. Okay? Just so you get the basics of it. This is a torch I got off of Amazon. It's very similar to the one that I showed you. Anything like this will work. They do have little minis. They'll work for a little bit. I've went through those too. I just highly suggest this is real basic. I do recommend getting your butane at like a smoke shop because you can get it there for like $3, or you can get butane at, I believe it was Lowe's I saw for like $13, and I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, just look for the cheapest amount, or butane. And then this is the part I really cannot teach somebody, and that is your composition. Sorry, your composition is something that will make, so there's two things that are going to make your painting wow. It's going to be the colors and the composition. So the colors have to, really go together. There's a lot of like color wheels you can look for. What colors look best together. And then your composition. So your composition is just basically like, how it's gonna lay on there. I feel like I'm gonna teach you a real basic one that can work for just about anything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the darkest color down first. I'm gonna show you with just using a cup if you don't have your squeeze bottles, or I'm gonna show you the squeeze bottle. Okay, I highly recommend the squeeze bottle because it kind of gives you the exact amount of paint you need to lay down. When you do it out of a cup, there's the chance that you're going to put too much or too little down. Okay, but I want to show you both. So I'm just going to do a swirl. Okay, so we're just laying down the paint, and it's just flowing. Okay, right off the edge there. Then we're going to use your squeeze bottle. I always check it first, just to make sure if it's been sitting a while, it will like to get dry sometimes in that little top cup there. Okay, so we put our magenta down, and then we're going to put a hint of silver. Okay. So you can use a stir stick, you can squeeze it, you can use your paint. Use your squeeze bottle, you can use a little cup, whatever you want to lay down. As you can see, how much more spread when I did the cup, where versus that pink is pretty, accurate and along that. Okay, now there's two ways of doing a Dutch pour. You can cover and you can not cover your paint. Okay, so I'm going to show you both in one painting so that you can choose which way you want to do it. So I'm torching the paint again, making sure I get all the air bubbles out. Okay, the original way that I've seen Dutch pours done was, so either way, doesn't matter. You want to put your white paint, whatever your base color is, right next to your color. Okay. So the first one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the original way that I saw it done. Does not matter if this is on hot or cold. Okay, I'm not joking. I have it on hot. People say you can't use hot. I use hot on everything. I never hit the cold button. So just use your blow dryer. Okay, it does not matter your blow dryer. It does not matter if it's a little one, big one. It doesn't matter. It's just about learning how to use it. So I highly suggest getting, to just play with it and play with your blow dryer and get to know it. Start from the closest, work your way back, start from the back, work your way forward, so you can see what your blow dryer is going to do. There's plenty of videos showing you that blow dryers do not matter. It really truly doesn't. It's just a matter of how to use it. So we are going to blow the paint over. Okay. Okay. So that's the original way that I learned. You blow the paint over, and then we're going to blow the paint out. Okay? So now we're going to blow it out, and I'm just going to use this direction and just work it that way. Okay? I'm not doing anything tricky. Okay. Then if you want it to kind of go more or less a different direction, we can move it. A different direction, okay? There's a lot of paint buildup right here. Now, you're going to see a lot of people say, oh, I need to add silicone for cells. These right here are cells. As you saw, I didn't touch any silicone. Nothing. All this is Floetrol and water, okay? You don't need anything else. It's a matter of how your paint is mixed, okay? Metallic does cause a little bit more cells than others. I'll even do this without pushing that white over, so you can see that you will get cells no matter what, okay? Now I'm gonna go the other direction, and I still left that white because I need the paint to flow. I'm just not covering it up, okay? So. Pretty close to the same outcome, either way that you do it, okay? Look at all the cells popping up. They are everywhere, okay? Now, remember when I talked about composition? So this one would look probably pretty cool if we added something like maybe right in here and right in here. So let's go ahead and do that just to play so that you can see what you can do. Okay, I really like the magenta. So what I'm going to do here is just a little bit of teal. Okay, a little bit more magenta and a tiny bit of silver. The silver really did not show up. Okay, remember, add a little bit of white around it. Okay, just to help it flow. I think I'm just going to go this direction just to get something in this corner here. And two things, sorry. After you do it, you want to torch it as well, okay? Now, as you can see, nothing is perfect. That did not look good. That did not turn out good. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit more on here. And this is where you play, okay? I'm curious to see what this will look like. I'm not sure why it's just sitting. I think the paint has already started to dry, to be honest. Oh, we're going to make this look cool, so I'm going to show you how to make anything cool, okay? Now, the one thing I am going to do is get some more white, though. And I had some white already made up. And I think that's what's happening. So, as you can see, nothing is perfect, right? Like, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Well, if you are, I want to meet you. It'd be awesome. So. Doo-dah. We're just playing. Okay. This is the part you get to laugh at me. All right. So you see how that flowed much better? The paint underneath was starting to dry on those corners already. So you can kind of see how this is. Now, here's some tricks, okay? Get a straw. Dang it, you couldn't see that up there in that corner there. Okay, so there's two things you can do to kind of play with this. Is I can take this and blow. And that just kind of gave it some dimension and kind of just, I don't know, made it prettier. Okay. And then this side, same thing. Okay, and then if you don't like how thick this is right here, you can blow that as well. And give it some soft look. Okay, that's just real light with a straw. Any straw works fine. And you really don't have to do any of this. You can also take and say you want to do little wispies. Okay. Now this painting really doesn't have a lot of composition, okay? This is more just trading and showing you that it comes down to your paint thickness, okay? If you guys have any questions, I mean, you purchase this, if you get stuck somewhere, I would really like you to email me, Facebook me. I'll put all the links in there. Whatever you need, okay? If you're stuck on something, I'm just playing here, you guys. Just giving you guys all little ideas. I'm gonna bring you up close, just to kind of see what the cells look like, what the paint looks like, all that kind of stuff, okay? Okay. Now, what you will need to do is leave this where you can have it dry. Okay. Sorry. You will start to see little tiny drips on the bottom. Okay. You take your stick and scrape them. Okay. And you'll just do that for the first like half an hour or so. You don't have to. It helps not leaving little bumps underneath. And then you'll want to check your edges. This dried really fast. Check your edges. Make sure that your edges are covered. And when I mean covered, like, here's an example. So these are all covered. They're already starting to dry. Do you see how it's pulling away? But I went over here. And some people, see how this didn't get it? You can kind of just do this just to make sure there's paint on it. Now, we did go over it in the beginning with that white, and we made sure that they were all covered. So you're good. But it's already starting to dry, which is crazy to me, because usually my house is too cold and takes forever. So anyway, so there's that. Now, last but not least, I need to show you how to clear coat when you're done. Okay? So this needs to sit 24 hours minimum before you do anything. Most people will tell you 30 days. 30 days for curing. 72 hours is what I would recommend. I have done it as soon as 24 hours when I had needed to. And that is with no silicone, no nothing. Okay, you make sure the painting is completely dry. So my recommendation, in all honesty, 72 hours. Some people will tell you 30 days. Okay. I'm going to spray a painting that I already have done so that you can see how to do it. And it's nothing tricky, but you will see how great this product is. Okay. So let me get that ready for you. Okay, we are in my garage. Please forgive me for what is in here. My husband builds vehicles. Okay, so this is a painting that I did a couple weeks ago. I just had it on my wall. I am going to use triple thick clear glaze. Okay. It is by far the best that I've found, the easiest, and really just gives the best coverage. So I'm going to do my best here to try and hold this and show you. Okay, so you just want to go down one side, go one way, wear a mask. All of these things stink so bad. Then I go around the edges. Then I come back and I go this way just to double make sure I got everything covered. Okay. Then it is done. That's it. You can start to see the shine on it. This will take about 2 hours at the most, and it will be done. It is amazing. Okay. Okay, everybody, we did it. That is my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton. Please feel free to let me know your feedback, and please let me know if you have questions. I will be more than happy to help you with anything, you know, any questions that you might have. And I'm just looking at our painting we did. It's really cool. It's different just because it didn't really have the composition, but what I like about it is that we learned a lot from this piece, and you can see how to fix things. You can see the different ways and what you're comfortable with. And that's really what it comes down to, you guys. You know, how much paint you have on. Just use those squeeze bottles until you feel comfortable, you know. The more and more that you practice, the better you're going to get. I probably did literally over 100 canvases before I got it down. And it's just, and it's because I was going in so many different directions, right? Like somebody's mixture was this way, someone's mixture was this way, someone said use this, someone said use that. And I'm just like, what direction do I go? Like, what do I do? So I tried it all. And this has been the easiest and the best, honest to God. And just remember, control your blow dryer. Go down, up, and feel comfortable with it. Okay? So that's the biggest thing. But you guys got this. I want to see what you paint. I hope you guys will send me what you painted. And I actually, you got to send it to me. You got to send me what you paint. That's in the deal. Okay. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye.